James Cameron's long-awaited sequel, Avatar: The Way of Water, is finally here 13 years after the original Avatar broke world records in 2009. But in case you haven't watched the film since then, get ready because we're going back to Pandora. In 2154, we meet our protagonist, Jake Sully, a paraplegic marine who takes over his late twin brother Tommy's research contract on Pandora. Tommy's mission was to operate a human Navi hybrid called an Avatar, created specifically with his DNA. It gets pretty sciencey here, so I'll let Jake explain the rest.
And the concept is that every driver is matched to his own avatar, so that their nervous systems are in tune. Which is why they offer me the gig, because I can link with Tommy's avatar.
The Navi are the native species of Pandora that are 10 feet tall, have naturally occurring carbon fiber bones, and live on a gorgeous, gaseous planet uninhabitable to humans. So why go there? For an extremely valuable material called unobtainium. Yes, really, that's what it's called. What does it do? We don't really know, but it sure is expensive.
Because this little gray rock sells for $20 million a kilo.
On Pandora, we meet the major players on this base who want to use Jake for their own agendas. The always cigarette-smoking Dr. Grace Augustine is the creator of the Avatar program, who underestimates Jake's contribution to the project, but becomes an ally when Jake gets deeper into the Navi culture. Yet that directive to assimilate comes from bigoted Colonel Quaritch, the head of the base security, who not so secretly recruits Jake to do recon for him. And running the whole operation is Parker Selfridge, an RDA company man who only cares about the money. Jake takes to his avatar body like a fish to water. Spoiler for Avatar: The Way of Water, by the way. And he's set on his different missions. Grace is a botanist who has been using the Avatar program to collect plant samples and has discovered signal transduction between the roots of the trees. This point will become very important, so pay attention. While accidentally stranded for the night, Jake meets Neytiri. Spared from her arrow by the seeds of the sacred tree that pointed to his pure spirit, she instead saves his life and calls him a himbo along the way.
You have a strong heart, but stupid.
When she brings him back to her tribe, her parents/tribal leaders decide to keep him and make her teach him their ways, which first includes no human clothes. Back on the base, everyone is so impressed with Jake's strides with the Omaticaya and are quick to telegraph their plans onto him. Selfridge needs the Omaticaya to leave the home tree since
their damn village happens to be resting on the richest unobtainium deposit within 200 clicks. Look at all that cheddar.
Wanting to keep Jake away from the claws of Quaritch, Grace moves her team to a mobile link location in the floating Hallelujah Mountains. Here is when Jake fully immerses himself in the Navi culture, learning how to use those hair tendrils and slowly winning Neytiri's heart. With this time away from the Colonel, Jake endears himself more to Grace and Neytiri and starts to doubt his secret mission. As he slowly wins Neytiri's heart, he also lets the Navi way of life into his. Jake is officially welcomed into the Omaticaya, and he and Neytiri profess their feelings for each other. However, this bliss is short-lived as Jake finds his allegiance tested when the RDA suddenly bulldoze parts of the forest. Quaritch challenges the work Jake and Grace have been doing, and Grace reveals the true immeasurable value of the forest.
There's some kind of electrochemical communication between the roots of the trees. It's a global network, and the Navi can access it. They can upload and download data, memories, at sites like the one you just destroyed.
Selfridge doesn't buy it and lets Quaritch clear the Navi out with more or less humane ways, while also giving Jake and Grace the opportunity to convince the Omaticaya to leave. In warning the Omaticaya people that Quaritch is coming to take down the home tree, Jake reveals that he knew that this was always the plan, betraying everyone's trust. After Home Tree is taken down, Quaritch locks up Jake, Grace, and their allies as high-security risks to the operation. They're able to escape, but in the rush, Grace is fatally wounded. Alone and labeled an outcast, Jake needs the Omatikaya's help to save Grace, but needs to prove his worth to them after his betrayal. Jake returns to the Omaticaya on Taruk-Bak, like the second coming of the previous Taruk-Makto.
He brought the clans together in a time of great sorrow.
He entreats the clan leader to help him save Grace, but when the spirit transference fails and Grace joins Eywa, Jake gives the most baller rallying speech for all Navi clans to team up and defend their home and their people. The final battle takes place in the mountains, and while the Navi come in strong, they face many losses. And while it seems like all hope is lost for the Navi, Eywa provides and answers the call Jake entreated earlier. Eventually, it boils down to a showdown between Quaritch and Jake.
It's all over.
Nothing's over while I'm breathing.
I kind of hoped you'd say that.
Quaritch wants to teach Jake a lesson and goes to kill his human form in the mobile lab. However, Neytiri saves him again and Quaritch goes down. As human Jake struggles for air, Neytiri comes through and saves him for the second time in this scene, and they see each other. So the Navi win and they send all the bad humans off the planet. For now. We finally see Jake permanently join the Navi, leaving his human body behind with the help of Awa, and therefore paving the way for more Pandora-based stories. And that's Avatar in 5 minutes. Did I get everything? You should be all caught up now for Avatar: The Way of Water. For more on Avatar, make sure to follow and subscribe wherever you like to watch IGN.